過ぎた季節が嘘だとしても重ねたぬくもりは嘘じゃない君が残した背中の傷跡は今もずっと甘くてだからずっと痛くて
Yo, what it do, guys? It is your boy, Leon Moki here, back with you on another new chapter of God Eater 3 Devil Deku. And I know it's been a while since I've posted a new chapter on this story, and mostly because it's not really one of my most popular stories back then, and I'm pretty sure it's still not to this day, but I was feeling restless when I wanted to update it, so I decided to take care of it now. Any rate, a little bit of a recap. Izuku, Hugo, Zeke, and Tsuyu have seen an ash storm. However, now that they were given a chance to be free from Port Pennywort by the help of the ash crawler chrysanthemum and the leader of its port, Hilda Enriquez, with taking care of the origami and Izuku finally being able to go all out entirely. Not only that, they were even able to help and save many of the aged kids back at the port from a guy by the name of Shota Aizawa and a guy by the name of Ricardo as well, with the four of them finally able to make it to the ash crawler and then meet Hilda and her two aides, being Amy Chrysanthemum and Ochako Uraka as well, with giving pleasantries and their thoughts on the situation. However, soon, both Izuku and Hugo meet an old friend from their childhood, that being Katsuki Bakugo. So, with all that said, let's get into this, shall we, guys? Chapter 4, A New Beginning. With everybody in the room completely caught off guard and shocked, with then Hilda actually speaking up, saying, "You know them, Katsuki?" With then Bakugo couldn't help but say, "It's a lot from an old life, that's all." With Izuku saying, "But Kachan, with then Hugo saying, figures as much. You did always say you wanted to become a guide eater like the rest of us, but looks like but instead of staying at the Far East, looks like you came all the way here to Gleitnir." Wow. With then soon Katsuki saying, "And what's that supposed to mean? At least I'm not an aged lapdog, that's for sure." With then Zeke saying, "Hey, what the hell's your problem, asshole?" With then Tsuyu saying, "Hey, Izuku, who's the guy? You know him?" With then Izuku saying, "Yeah, this is Katsuki Bakugo. I used to call him Kachan as a kid. He's an old childhood friend of ours back at the Far East branch when me and Hugo used to live there before we were forcefully drafted to become Aegis. However, he was the lucky ones who didn't become drafted. Hopefully, I always thought that he would become a great god eater at the Far East, since the best of the best have always been there. But now seeing him become a Gleitnir glide eater, on the other hand," with then soon Bakugo saying, "To think that the age mutts that we got were you two, whatever. Just to tell you this, stay the hell out of my way, and I'll stay out of yours in combat. And I'll also show you on what us real god eaters are capable of." With then soon Amy saying, "There he goes again, being overconfident and arrogant as always." With then Hilda saying, "It's just one of his endearing traits, that's all. Katsuki, I appreciate about taking care of the god arcs in the storage room. I really do. But right now, I want you to try and get along with our guest here. We have to work together if we want to make it back to my port in time. And I know you still have your mission to worry about as well. With then soon, Bakugo was scowling a bit, looking back over to the side, not even looking at her, saying, Yeah, I'll take care of it. At any rate, just call me when you need some origami killing. That's all. I'm going back to my quarters. After saying that, with soon looking back at Izuku directly, with then scoffing before heading into the elevator. With then Zeke saying, "Boy, hard to believe that you two were friends with a piece of shit like that. But given that he's a regular god eater, guess it can't be helped." With then soon Hilda saying, "My apologies. He's with that of a transport unit. Just as before, we of Port Chrysanthemum are more of a merchant port. So we focus more on trading and trading goods and materials from Gleitnir to other ports. Right now, we have an amazing package in port and transfer to Gleitnir. Hopefully, we'll be able to handle this before things come to an end." With then Izuku saying, Don't worry, we'll help as much as we can to get you all back to your port safely." If Izuku giving off his confident and reassuring smile, within Hilda couldn't help but laugh and giggle, saying, "Thank you for your kind words, Izuku. But can I ask the two of you?" Within looking at Izuku and Hugo, with then saying, Do the two of you know about how caravan routes work?" With then Izuku saying, "I do." With Hugo saying, "Yeah, we use areas of low density as a reference point and just travel across the dots, if I recall." With Hilda saying, "You got it pretty down." With then Hugo couldn't help but say, "Just referencing what I saw through the database, of course." With then Izuku saying, "Yeah, we used to use those as references when going to certain areas to clear out origami and also repairing certain, materials back at Port Pennywards. But why are you asking this now?" With then Hilda couldn't help but comment saying, "Well, there used to be a pretty good and reliable, routes across this way. But thanks to the ash storm, all of the beacons have now gone dead." Hearing this, Izuku saying, "Damn, really? Oh man, it's going to be harder to get by here for other people, isn't it now?" With Izuku kind of feeling bad and sorry for other caravans having to come down this way, now with all of the beacons dead by the ash storm. But then soon, Izuku speaking up saying, now that you mention it, besides, Kachan and the other God Eater you say that's working with you, what about your crew? I know Mr. Aizawa is an age, so you have that of a defender for the ship, but it seems like Miss Amy and Miss Ochako seem like their job is that of navigators and that of the ship's helmsman as well. So what about Mr. Enrico? What about him too? It seems like he's a guide eater as well. So it seems like you have quite a bit of a skeleton crew here. With then Hilda saying, "Quite sharp, aren't you, Izuku?" Even though Port Chrysanthemum is quite the renowned port, I don't have enough to hire more people. After all, resources and bias factors needed to survive the Ashlands aren't what they used to be after all. Hearing this, with then soon Izuku and Hugo realized what she was saying before soon somebody else speaking up saying, "I see. So you decided to bring us on to do a little work for you, besides just trying to save us out of the goodness of your heart. Is that right, Miss Enriquez?" With it being Suyu. With then Hugo saying, "So you figured that out too. How long have you been here, Sue?" With then Suyu saying, "Just a bit, just showed up a little bit. came from the lobby, actually, and from relaxing. I wanted to see what you guys were talking about with Miss Hilda after me and Zeke left. When Bakugo left too. With Hilda saying, "Well, you're quite sharp, Miss Suyu." With then Sue saying, "Just call me Sue. Nothing, no miss or anything like that." With then Hilda saying, "Okay, Sue, you're right. But I promise you, you all will be properly compensated for your efforts." With then Hugo saying, "Yeah, true, I doubt that. A weekly allowance isn't going to, well, cut it for us, since we're risking our lives out there." With then Sue saying, "Come on, Hugo. I think there's more than you think about it." With then soon Hugo saying, "Oh, and what is to think about?" With then Hilda saying, "Well, if we can establish a more safer and more reliable route, we'll be able to gain that of, well, pioneer royalties. Basically, many people that use this route will have to pay us for the routes to come through areas like this, which would be a lot more reliable and safer to travel through. And half of those royalties will be going to the three, or should I say, the four of you." With then soon see you actually speak up saying, "I can get the royalties basically being the cut of income that we get from the route would go to us, but I think we should, but I'm not trying to suggest this, but maybe we should get at least 70%. I mean, we are risking our lives to make sure that routes like this stay cleared and safe for others." With then Hilda getting somewhat annoyed at this, saying, "See, I understand that you want to help out for your friends, but only allowing us 30%, especially for my crew as well, that's quite outrageous and unfair." With soon, look as the three ages back at each other, with then Suyu and Hugo look at Izuku, with then Izuku feeling nervous with the looks coming at him. As soon Hilda does the same thing. But then Izuku saying, "What are you all looking at me for?" With then Suyu saying, "You haven't suggested your opinion as well. What do you think? What do you think we should do?" But then Hugo saying, "Up to you, Izuku. What you got for me, buddy?" With then Izuku taking a deep breath as he puts his thumb near his chin, with then thinking quite a bit before soon going through a muttering spree about how to think about separating royalties and income between that of the crew and the ages. However, he soon goes into a tangent. As soon as they head back to Port Chrysanthemum, they'll be sent back to Port Pennywort, and what's left of it, and their own royalties would soon just go back to them, and then they will just be going. And then the cycle will just go over again, with then believing that trying to ask for a higher percentage would be pointless, with then soon Hugo basically chops Izuku's forehead, with then saying, "Dude, you're muttering again. You haven't done that in a while, so I'm kind of surprised this is a new record for you." With then Izuku saying, "Oh, sorry. Totally, guess I did. But if I'm going to be completely honest, if we're all going to be splitting the royalties of the routes and the income that we get from giving the routes out to other ports and caravans, possibly 50-50 will do, and even split between the entire crew and us ages as well." With then hearing that, with then Hugo saying, "Yeah, that sounds about right from Izuku." With then C saying, "Yeah, seems about right. So, take it or leave it, Hilda. After all, you did say you have that of a contract with that of Gleitnir, and you're basically transporting quite a bit of materials to them. So, you should be able to have that of a hefty haul from that, and leave us the other 50% from the royalties that we get from the routes that you sell to other caravans." With then Hilda couldn't help but laugh, as realizing, the three of you really make one weird team. especially when it comes to making deals. So fine. Half of the royalties. Do we have a deal? With then soon all three of them nod. With soon she's saying, the three of you are free to roam the crawler as before, but just letting you all know, some areas will be restricted to you. So try not to wander off too much. We all still have our secrets, right? Within, Izuku commenting saying, compared to our prison cells back at Laporte, this place is basically a paradise for us. Within, Hilda saying, I see. Well, it's glad to have all four of you on board. With soon, Hilda walks off, with then leaving the three ages to themselves. With soon, Suyu can up say, well, if you're gonna ask me, I know what I'm going to do. With then, soon, the two boys saying, and what's that? Hugo asking, with then saying, I haven't had a proper shower in basically weeks, so I'm going to do that. Did you know this? Actually, did you know the crawler actually has that of an indoor bath? Has that of an indoor bath besides just showers? It's amazing. With that, Amy and Ochako actually told me this, so I'm going to take my time in that. With then hearing this, soon both boys couldn't help but sweat drop, but also feel happy for their, well, female-aged friend, after all. Within, see you walking off, heading to the lower levels. Not only that, both Izuku and Hugo go their separate ways, looking around the ash crawler. With then, however, Izuku heading to the infirmary, as he remembers before they got onto the ash crawler and about everything else, especially about meeting Kachan as well. With then worried about Sho. As soon Izuku heads to one of the lower floors of the ash crawler, as it reaching that of the lab floor, the same floor that they came into before putting up their god arcs. With then soon Izuku tries to look around and see the infirmary. As soon as he enters, he soon sees a girl coming out of it. With then saying, sorry. With then Izuku saying, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. With then as he looks really close at her, she having that of a white top, with also having that of a corset around her neck, that of a blue plaid skirt as well, and that of white and blue boots, and having that of somewhat that of red eyes and blue and blonde hair. However, what really stands out is her quite, well, ample bust as well. But also what stands out too is that she has that of an armlet, but not two armlets like him. With then Izuku saying, sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just saying, by any chance, are you one of the ages that came onto the ship? With saying, yeah, I see. You must have came to see about your friend. Am I right? With then Izuku saying, yeah, is Sho saying, don't worry, he's fine. I made sure to take care and look after him. To be the poor boy. It seems like he was that the things that he was giving him was lowering his metabolism and was causing him was causing his body to shut down. I don't know why. With then hearing this, Izuku couldn't help but have that a clenched fist, as he was clenching his fist so hard that his palms were turning full-on white. With then Izuku shaking his head saying, thank you so much for helping Sho. I swear, I was really trying we were all trying our best to help him, and we couldn't. We were just. With then, she couldn't help but feel bad for Izuku. But then saying, excuse me, I still have my duties to take care of. If you want to see him, you can. but try not to stay too long. He's still recovering after all. With then hearing this, Izuku couldn't help but nod, saying, "Thank you. Thank you so much." With that, soon, Izuku goes through the infirmary within the other girl, basically walking out. With then she's saying, "Oh, I didn't ask his name. Oh, and he didn't even ask for mine either. Well, guess it can't be helped." With then soon, Izuku is in the infirmary as he sees the raven-haired boy with his hair covering his right eye. As he looks completely passed out, saying, "Hey, Sho, are you okay?" With then Sho actually opening his one eye, saying, "Izuku?" Saying, "Oh, you're okay. How are you feeling?" "A little bit sleepy, but I don't feel like I'm not coughing as much as before, so my body doesn't feel like it hurts." With then Izuku looked closer, saying, "Your eyes don't look as bloodshot as they were before, and you seem like you have color back in your face. I'm so happy." With then Sho saying, "Yeah, that I don't know who helped me, but I really want to thank them." Saying, "Seems like a God Eater girl actually helped you. And not only that, a woman by the name of Hilda Enriquez, the owner of this ship, also helped you out too with the medicine that she has here. So, if you ever feel a lot more better, I hope that you can thank them for what they did for you, Sho." With then saying, I'll try. I'm still a bit... Hey, nothing wrong with being afraid of God Eaters and people who aren't like us. After all, us ages always have to stick together, right?" With Izuku petting the young kid's head. Within Sho couldn't help but smile, saying, "Yeah, right, Izuku." With then saying, "Get some rest. You deserve it." With then Izuku standing up and then heading out of the infirmary and heading back to the bridge of the Ashcrawler. Back with the girl that came from the infirmary, she basically grabs one of the Gleitnir rifles that's given to her for defending herself outside of her god arc when she's not out in duty. With then soon somebody saying, "Seriously? Did you just come back from the infirmary? I thought you were looking over the cargo." Saying, With then she's saying, "Katsuki, seriously, what the hell? Why did you..." Saying, I was just about to take care of that, take over guard duty. You don't need to worry about that." Saying, "But but it's my duty to look after the transport and cargo, so you don't need to." Saying, "Just shut it. If you want to look after one of those age mutts, then go for it, and take care of them as much as you want. It doesn't matter. As for me, I'm just going to get this damn job out of the way so I can get my next assignment. I'm itching to kill some really powerful origami to get my rank up, after all." With then Bakugo having a feral grin on his face. With then the girl couldn't help but say, "You never change, don't you, Katsuki?" With then Bakugo getting annoyed, saying, And you need to figure out what the hell do you want to do for yourself, Miss Prissy Pants." Within the girl having that of a glare towards the spiky ashen blonde, saying, "I told you this before. My name is Claire Victoria, and try to remember it. Seriously, why do you always give people stupid nicknames?" With then saying, "I do what I want when I want, and I can call whoever the hell I want to call whatever I want as well. So whatever. So what are you gonna do?" With then saying, I'm going back to my post. That's what." With then Claire walking out back to the cargo bay, with then saying, whatever. With soon Bakugo part of him saying, rather take care of that damn duty than run into freaking Deku and Frenchie. With Bakugo thinking of Izuku and Hugo. With then Izuku heading back to the bridge as he soon sees Zeke and Keith. As then seeing the two brothers as he walks over to them, saying, "Hey guys, what's going on?" With then Zeke saying, "Hey Izuku, Hugo told me that you were planning on seeing Sho. So, how is he?" Saying, "He's doing a lot more better now. Thanks to the God Eater here on the ship, we were able to take care." With then both brothers basically have that of a wide eyes, with saying, "Wait, the God Eater on this ship? Are you talking about one of those burly dudes, or that asshole that basically made fun of you and Hugo and all of us for being ages as well?" With then Izuku saying, "No, it ain't Kachan. Thank God. Honestly, I would be shocked and surprised if he actually knew a bit of first aid and medical care. Actually, no, it was actually a female God Eater. With I think she might be part of the crew as well." With then Keith couldn't help but say, "I see. Well, I'm just glad that Sho's all right. That's all that matters. But actually, I've been thinking about checking. But I plan on going to the storage room and see about the God Arcs. Not only that, I also want to check out the more of this crawler. I mean, since many of us never really got a chance to get out of our cell that much, checking out this place, and most of us only went out on missions to kill origami, especially me being in me repairing things back in the monitoring room and in the engineering as well. I want to check this place out. It's almost like a paradise for somebody like me." With then Izuku having out of a sweat drop alongside Zeke, saying, "Of course it would be for you." With that, soon Keith actually walks off. With then both Izuku and Zeke continue talking, before then Hugo coming up to the floor alongside Tsuyu, with Tsuyu seeing like she has that more of a brighter glow about her. With then Zeke actually blushing quite a bit, saying, "Hey, Sue, you seem different. Did something with your hair by any chance?" With then Sue saying, "No, not really. I mean, I did take a pretty well relaxed bath actually. So I feel a lot more calm and relieved, to be fair." With then Zeke still blushing, saying, "Oh, really? Well, it suits you." With then him laughing nervously, saying, but then Tsuyu saying, "Thanks. I guess, actually." As then Tsuyu begins walking, with then soon Hugo placing a hand on Zeke's shoulder, saying, "Strike. There goes another one. You just really can't stick the landings when talking to her, can you?" With then Zeke saying, "Oh, piss off, Hugo. It's not easy talking to a girl that you like. I mean, what about Izuku? He has a hard time trying to speak to girls." With then Izuku blushing, saying, "Hey, that's not fair," pointing that out to me. "At least I can talk to Sue easily." Saying, "Yeah, because you're used to talking to her. I remember back when you first met her, you first stuttered like crazy for the past couple of months, actually. And it was like you were basically on caffeine and electrocuted at the same time." With then Izuku saying, "Hey, that's not help. You're not helping." With then both, as the three of them couldn't help but laugh, with saying, "How long has it been since the three of us actually just relaxed like this and just talked and just made fun of each other instead of more of a way to cope and all that?" With then Zeke saying, "Hard to say. I mean, when it comes to us ages, basically, our jobs are nothing but just to kill our origami and dot and then be used up by the ports that we live on. It's been like that for almost all of us. With then Hugo saying, basically, yeah. But I wonder how the others are doing. If they were able to, especially some of us who were able to get out of Port Pennyworth. With then Hugo actually looking down a bit. With then Izuku saying, "You still thinking about Miss Nejire, aren't you?" Saying, "Can you blame me? I thought she gave up her life for us, for me. I mean, I'm worried if she's still even out there or if not." With then Izuku placing a hand on his childhood friend, saying, "We'll meet her again, hopefully. After all, she was the toughest out of all of us, and the strongest." With then soon, Hugo come up say, "Yeah, you're right. Let's go." With then the three friends head down, and they see Amy as she's also talking with Tsuyu. With then Tsuyu waving the three boys over. With then all of them saying, "Hello, guys. I was just talking to Amy." With then saying, "Hello," as Amy also basically nods to them, saying, "Hello. Welcome. I wish to welcome you all to the Ashcrawler Chrysanthemum. Allow me to properly introduce myself as before. My name is Amy Chrysanthemum. I was adopted by Miss Hilda when I was almost drafted into becoming an age. However, Miss Hilda actually made pull some strings for me and allowed me, and instead of becoming an age, I became that of a navigator and also that of a consortant for Port Chrysanthemum as well. As for right now, you're standing right in front of the mission counter. Here, we post tasks for each and every one of us to perform so we can clear our courses to our destinations." With then Hugo saying, "So, basically, in short terms, we come here if you want a job, right?" With then Amy nodding, saying, "Yep, that's right. I was just about to talk to Sue about this. A job just came in, but there is one little problem. We have a snag, actually." With then Izuku saying, "A snag? What kind of snag are we talking about?" With then two people walking to the operating station. With then one of them saying, "The kind of snag that basically blocks us going through anything," as it being that of Aizawa and Hilda. With then Hilda coming saying, "That's right. If we continue the course that we're on now, we would basically crossing that of a rope bridge blindfolded." With then soon Zeke saying, "So why not just walk forward?" With then Aizawa sighing again, saying, "That's where the snag comes in. It has that of sharp teeth and claws and is chewing at the rope." With then Tsuyu saying, "So it's origami." With then Aizawa saying, "That's one of the issues." With then looking at Hilda, with soon she nodding, saying, "Caravans like us that operate within the Ashlands are given that or equipped with that of resonance radars." With then Hilda was about to continue as Izuku saying, "Oh yeah, I've read up about those. Basically, their job is to monitor the levels of not just the ash levels, but also of origami in the nearby area. With that, it basically gives us it's both the eyes and ears for caravan ships throughout the Ashlands, allowing us to pinpoint that of threats. Am I right?" With then everybody look at the messy green net. With then Izuku saying, "Like I said, I have a lot of free time in the prison cell with the limited materials that we were given. So reading up on some equipment that we barely would be able to notice or even see gets my attention." With Izuku blushing while basically tapping his fingers together. With then Zeke saying, "That's Izuku for you. knows plenty of stuff that even many of us forget about. With Zeke wrapping his arm around his close friend's neck, with Izuku saying, Zeke. With then the tone was a little bit more lighthearted. However, Aizawa still not, cracking a smile even beneath his scarf, saying, just letting you now know, we do have one, as you can tell. Looking behind, as the four ages look behind them, with them saying, however, if we can't use the resonance radar, it's basically pointless, based in putting us in a life and death situation constantly. With then Hugo looking at Aizawa and Hilda, saying, is your guys's, radar malfunctioning by any chance? With Hilda shaking her head sideways, saying, just as the name says, it needs resonance to operate it. Somebody with a high enough resonance to use it, that we can basically, traverse the Ashlands. With then C saying, I see, but Mr. Aizawa, aren't you a age by any chance? Didn't you always use it? With then soon Aizawa basically sighing, saying, yes I did. However, my resonance towards that to give that of a pretty good range is pretty weak. We relied on me because I was the only age on the chrysanthemum here. We do have other ages back at the port. However, their job is to basically protect the port, where it's my job to keep this the Ashcrawler chrysanthemum safe, even if my resonance is not that good. Hopefully, we're asking if either of the four of you could do it for us. With then soon all four of them look at each other, with then Zeke actually having that of a mischievous but also confident grin on his face, saying, a navigator, huh? I like the sound of that. Let me give a try at it. As Zeke actually looks pumped and excited for this, with then C saying, Zeke, you sure about this? With then saying, definitely, Sue, I got this. Trust me. With then Hilda saying, Amy, release the restraints and bypass all locks. Give them a chance to use it for the system to authorize them. With Amy nodding and soon saying, all right, it's open. You can now try, Zeke. As Zeke sits down into the resonance radar, with then soon he begins that of grunting, trying his best to unleash that of his resonance. With then the resonance radar begins to hum and vibrate for a bit before soon it comes down, with Zeke actually panting at least a little bit. Almost feels like he's out of breath, saying, how was that? As he looks like he has a smile on his face, with then Amy saying, nope, not sufficient enough. It was only about that of 2 meters, to be fair. Not enough to keep us safe in an area like this. With then Zeke saying, what? No! With then both Hugo and Tsuyu couldn't help but comfort the dirty ashen blonde. With then Tsuyu saying, I want to give it a try. With that, soon Zeke saying, sure, go ahead, Sue. You got this. I know you do. As Zeke gives her that of a confident pep talk. With then Tsuyu couldn't help but smile at Zeke's words before sitting down and then closing her eyes. Before then, it also begins to hum quite a bit, a little bit longer than, Zeke's did. With then she saying, so, is that okay? With then soon Amy saying, unfortunately, no. It was only about that of 5 meters, to be fair. With then saying, oh boy, I guess I wasn't enough. With then Zeke saying, don't put yourself down, Tsuyu. Next time, you'll probably get it next time, I promise. Definitely. With then Aizawa saying, there's not going to be a next time when your resonance is basically built on when you became an adapted God Eater. Depending on that resonance is how much you have. Within hearing that, Izuku actually eyes widening for a bit, saying, depending on when the resonance is based on how much you had when you first became a God Eater, an adapted God Eater. Then Izuku looks at his armlets, then saying, why don't you try, Hugo? As then Hugo sits down as well. Then soon, for a split second, there was barely any humming or sparking at all. Then Amy saying, it doesn't look like you have any at all, Hugo. Then Zeke saying, not one iota. Damn, dude, that's gotta suck. Then Hugo couldn't say, yeah, tougher than I thought. Sorry guys for teasing a bit. Then Hugo standing up, saying, what about you, Aizawa? What? How far was your residence to keep everyone safe? Saying, it's not just I want to say it wasn't enough. It was only that of 10 meters to be fair. And personally, that's not what we need is something bigger. I don't mind becoming the radar again, but I was hoping that one of you kids would be able to do it. Within the messy, long-haired, 5 o'clock shadow man looks at Izuku. You're up. Then Izuku saying, wait, me? As everybody looks at the green-eyed boy. Then Izuku actually taking that of a deep breath, saying, yeah, I got it. After all, resonance is the key. So, then looking as Izuku looks at Hugo, then Hugo realized the smirk on Izuku, as he couldn't help but smirk as well. Then Hugo come but say, if one of us can become a navigator, then that means we can actually renegotiate royalties. How does that sound, Hilda? Then Aizawa having that of a glare towards the raven-haired boy, then Hilda basically raising her hand up towards Aizawa, saying, just letting you know, Hugo, I don't pay for sloppy work, after all. Then Hugo having that of a confident grin on his face, saying, oh, I know. Izuku, give it a try, man. With that, Izuku takes a seat, as then he closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, before then the resonance radar begins to hum crazily, actually almost violently, as the yellow electricity and resonance and bias fields begin to react towards Izuku, with even Suyu and Zeke actually caught off guard. With Amy, she couldn't help but say, This is insane. It's going up to that of 10 meters. No, it's going up to that of 100 meters, actually. And passing the meters to that of miles. It's still growing. Then Hilda saying, that's impossible. Then Aizawa looking at Izuku as he's still in the resident's radar chair, saying, well, ain't that for sure. Looks like his file wasn't bluffing about him being that of a rank S residence rating. It looks like I made the right choice to making sure that a port like Pennywort kept their grubby hands off somebody like him and the rest of these aged kids. It's somebody like Izuku, Pennywort, or rather, Izuku Midoriya has potential like this. Then Hilda and Amy look at both Izuku and Hugo. Then Uraraka soon comes down saying, What was all that rumbling? Are we under attack? Is an Aragami attacking us? Then as everybody looks at the bubbly brunette, then soon Izuku and Hugo couldn't help but laugh together. Then Hugo saying, ever since the two of us first became God Eaters, I heard that Izuku had the highest residence out of everybody at Port Pennyworth that became an age. So, does that solve our little navigation problem? With then Hilda alongside Aizawa couldn't help but smile at those words. With then Aizawa saying, "Oh yeah, it definitely solves our navigation problem." With then Hilda saying, get on kid unlocked. I'll get Ricardo so we can get ready to leave." As Aizawa soon leaves the bridge and heads to the elevator, with then Hilda saying, "All right, I'll be ready. Let's head out. Oh, Chaco, get to your station as well. I'm going to need my helmsman as always." But soon, Ochako, hearing the words of her boss saying, "Yes, ma'am, on it," as she soon heads back up to her controls of controlling the helm of the ship. Within both Hugo and Izuku bump armlets. With that saying, "Definitely." With that, it looks like things are about to begin as their new journey begins now. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Love to read them. Sorry if this wasn't an action-packed chapter like the other 3 chapters were. To be fair, I mean, honestly, I wanted to focus more on the conversations and talk between that of Izuku and the other people of the God Eater team after all. So yeah, I didn't just want to focus always on combat and fighting. Also, when I first started this chapter, I made up a poll on who should I ship Izuku with in this story, that being that of, well, Claire or Lulu. And personally, I still want to see if you guys are still, if I want to do a read vote, because at first I did the poll on my main channel before I finally got that of 1,000 subscribers on this channel. So I want to do a new revote, and this time a lot more differently. So who do you guys want Izuku to be shipped with, Claire or Lulu? Still, you guys can still vote down below. So with all that said, if you guys like this, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, keep up to date with my videos when I upload on the channel. Also, check out my Discord, gaming channel, main channel, and Patreon. All linked in the description below. So, with all that said, this is Leon Mookie, signing out. Later, guys, and hope you all take care.